Online gaming isn't everyone's cup of tea, but those who are into this hobby have a lot on their plates thanks to new games being released all the time. These games at times get so famous that even the non-gaming community ends up learning about them against their will. We're looking at you, Counter-Strike and PUBG. In this video, we'll show you how the speedrunners in the game Phasmophobia are scarier than the ghosts they're hunting. First, the scary speedrunners. Almost 2 years since its early access launch, Phasmophobia has remained people's go-to game when they want to have some relaxing time with their friends. Who wouldn't want to dive deep into the woods and search for paranormal creatures as they check out different locations, right? These things are only fun when they're games. No way is anyone doing this in real life. Anyway, as you know, in Phasmophobia, we're all a bunch of efficient ghost hunters exploring sinister places. But compared to the speedrunners, we're pretty much nothing more than teenagers going snooping around houses that we think are haunted. Done quick, Games Biennial Charity Marathon happened recently, and a group of 4 fully professional ghost hunters spent 30 minutes bullying ghosts from 6 different homes. Now, the 4 ghost hunters and their tips and tricks. A contestant, Bracentia, commented on the Phasmophobia speedrun, along with PSEG, Flannel Cat, and NPC Lives. Well, you must know that you gotta identify the ghosts that are haunting a place. Specifically, you have to identify what type of ghost that it is. So, the 4 contestants showed an any small maps run. This meant that they tried, no matter successfully or not, trying to identify ghosts on all 6 of Phasmo's small-sized maps. Bracentia said that they don't randomly guess. Instead, they do it based on evidence and deduction, because randomly selecting a ghost would be very quick but also very tedious. So anyone wanting to try this trick, go ahead and listen to Bracentia and tell us if it makes any difference. The SGDQ also uploaded the Phasmo run for you to try your luck directly. Many people hadn't seen the Phasmo speedrun before, and when they did, it turned out to be their favorite strain. People have been commenting constantly, saying how much they enjoy learning about the cheats and technology runners use in other games, but this crew of co-op Ghostbusters did the purest of speedrunning. They now know the idiosyncrasies and details of Phasmophobia so completely that they can identify a ghost and run away faster. As a gamer, isn't that what you'd want to? And if you thought that was it, you were wrong. There's more. All 4 ghost hunters rushed to their first contract at the tiny Tanglewood house and immediately shouted proofs like 5 in the garage and calling circle, then interrogated the rapid fire of the mind with the tried and true "how old are you?" question spoken in their ghost box. Trying to see all 4 perspectives at once might feel like chaos to you right now, but all 4 knew exactly what they were doing, so we're pretty sure you can do that too. And seeing how masterfully the 4 of them are identifying ghosts and trapping them, they do seem to be scarier than the ghosts themselves. Lastly, catch the ghost. Phasmo now has so many different ghosts that you gotta check your journal during each contract to remind yourself what combinations of proofs refer to each type of ghost. You can decide what you're dealing with by finding common evidence such as maximum EMF reading, freezing temperatures, and ghost box chatter. But some ghosts have their own unique stories that you'd have to memorize. Typical ghost hunting stuff, right? Shouldn't be too hard. If you're still a bit confused, Bracentia explained in the first house that sprinkling salt on the floor is a surefire test of the mind. Like many other ghosts, these ghosts also leave footprints when they walk over salt mountains. But unlike other ghosts, they don't leave a glowing green footprint detectable with a UV flashlight. Take notes. Salt is your friend here. It's crazy how the team identified the wraith in less than 2 minutes, packed up the van, and headed to the next house at approximately 2:15 a.m. Not just that, but they even tackled more ghosts with a lot of the more you know ghost tricks that you'd need to memorize and use accordingly so you'd win against these ghosts. We bow to the professionals. Compared to them, we're all just a bunch of amateur ghost hunters prowling in the dark and getting scared when they feel something behind them. Their trial was an impressively coordinated attack on haunted houses, and we should be learning all these tricks if we want to become respected ghost hunters. Gotta make Sam and Dean Winchester proud. We've given you tips and tricks as to how you should be able to defeat the ghost in Phasmophobia. But now let's head over to the other news section and see what news we have from other gaming zones. Now, in other related news, let's start with co-op mod Skyrim Together Reborn gets a release date. If you're a Skyrim fan, we have some good news for you guys. The staff engaged on Skyrim Collectively Reborn, which is meant to swap the previous multiplayer mod Skyrim Collectively, has said it will likely be launched on Friday, July 8th. And it will not be a beta launch, but a full model 1.0. If you remember, the growth of Skyrim Collectively was basically rebooted in 2019, with the codebase being restructured following the leak that it used code from the Skyrim script extender without permission. So now, new modders have come on board and progress picked up in the final year, wanting to release a model suitable to Skyrim Anniversary version. A video was uploaded in CUD, and it showed 5 gamers adventuring collectively in sync. In this new version, the host will handle all of the speaking to NPCs, with quest development updating for all gamers. PvP is feasible, although disabled by default, and you can pause in stock menus. Sure, it's not without bugs, and at one level couple within the video, they discover a couple of them can sit down in identical chairs. But anyway, this one really works. The Collectively group notes that the mod will not be good. It'd often crash, some quests would break, and there would also be bugs. That isn't fixable. That is simply the fact of creating a multiplayer mod as an alternative to getting a large studio like Bethesda to make a multiplayer sport. But let's be happy that it's playable, it's enjoyable, and it's rather a lot higher than the previous Skyrim Collectively mod, which was the objective of Reborn. So we'll take this one and make do with it. Pretty sure we'll come to love it like we did with the others, despite their own problems. Then, Pyramid Headblight skin revealed in Dead by Daylight. The new chapter in Silent Hill has returned in the shape of Dead by Daylight for the second time, and has now added a new skin for Pyramid Head and finally brought James Sunderland into the asymmetrical multiplayer game. If you remember, Dead by Daylight's first batch of Silent Hill-themed DLC was released in June of 2020, and this premium chapter introduced Midwich Elementary School as a claustrophobic location for online matches and Silent Hill 3's Cheryl Mason as a playable survivor. But the biggest draw was without a doubt that the franchise's mascot, Pyramid Head, joined the killer list, where he now sits with the legendary horror villains like Freddy Krueger, Michael Myers, and Leatherface. He scared the daylights out of a lot of people. Now, over a year later, there's been yet another big update. On this occasion, fans are being treated to a new Blight look for Pyramid Head, as well as a James Sunderland cosmetic option. Pyramid Head, who's also known as the Executioner, already had a couple of alternative costumes in Dead by Daylight, but his newest look is particularly gruesome. It's categorized as a very rare outfit, and it shows the demonic entity covered by boils that are leaking orange sap. Ew. It's part of a collection of matching skins that were previously launched for other killers like the Trapper, the Doctor, and the Huntress. The idea behind these is that each of these characters have been infected with a putrid serum that has caused them to mutate and go into a frenzy. And finish it off with Marvel Contest of Champions celebrates the release of Thor: Love and Thunder. Kabam's popular mobile fighter, Marvel Contest of Champions, announced its next big content drop just in time for the very much anticipated movie Thor: Love and Thunder, out of which they've taken bits and pieces. This updates edition comes in the form of two brand new champions related to the film, Gore and Valkyrie. Let's begin with Gore, the God Butcher, who grew up in a harsh world, where his people's firm belief in their gods kept them from falling into depression. But after his family died due to the harsh climate of his world, he became full of rage and swore vengeance upon those same gods that never came to their rescue. We'll be seeing a lot of execution of gods in this game, very much in contrast to the new character of the game, Valkyrie, who's more of a heroic figure, although she's a bit, well, crooked. Gore will be arriving in the Contest of Champions on July 14th, while Valkyrie will be added on July 28th. That's a wrap for this video. What are your thoughts on Phasmophobia Speedrunners? Let us know in the comments below. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more videos like this. See you in the next one.